let's talk ghosting. So what even is ghosting? Well, to my understanding is stopping communication, fully stopping communication with no explanation whatsoever. You're basically just withdrawing access to you, of your time, access to your attention, to your presence, everything you've just gotten that person used to. You took it away, just like that. And I feel like the message that ghosting really carries is you're just not worth it anymore. You know, I don't see enough value in keeping this. I don't see any point in talking to you anymore. So you're basically sending a message without saying anything. It's like nonverbal communication. So the pattern I started recognizing, like a pattern of why people even do it, I don't think there are that many reasons for that, but I did kind of grasp onto some of them. First one, I think, is the fact that people avoid confrontation. Like, for instance, if you're having a conversation about, like, I don't know, them not showing up, them, I don't know, giving you less attention, like you confront them about something, they just don't want to reply. They do not want to, have this argument with you. And this is it. They just disappeared. They choose not to get attacked, basically. Because who on earth wants uncomfortable conversations? I think there are like probably like three options of what you can do if somebody confronts you. You either just like get confronted, like you hear what they have to say, you fight back. Other people just reply in ages, but they still reply. And then there's some people who just will never talk to you again. And I feel like the other reason why people do that is because they just don't know how to properly communicate their boundaries. So like, for example, if somebody's being nagging, if they're asking too much from you and you need space, you could just tell them that. So instead of explaining, you just disappear, you go mute, and you move on to the next person. But I feel like all those things that I just said are pretty sane. I think, like, who the heck wants to be confronted? Who the heck, like, if you don't have boundaries, it's a different story. But if they're trying to manipulate you or, like, play you, I feel like the main reason they do this is because you're in so much control now. Like, imagine you've been speaking to a person days on end, for hours, back and forth, and then you just stop at one point. You leave that person wondering, why the heck did that just happen? Did I do something wrong? Should I double text? Should I check in? Should I send, like, should I do something? So by ghosting, those people just create a certain imbalance. So now they're in control. It's not you anymore. Especially I feel like in modern dating or just like modern world, it's so easy to ghost someone. Like you can just not reply. It's as easy as that. I don't think people who ghost, they would have the balls to do that in real life, because imagine you're talking to a person, they're telling you something and you just turn around and walk the fuck away. I've never seen that happen. That has never happened to me personally. I take, arguments and disputes to next level. I'm not leaving until I'm right. But that's not the same case for everyone. So, the fact that everything is going on over here, it's pretty easy to get rid of someone. Also, another reason people do that is probably just to protect themselves. At one point, I was doing that as well. Even with people I liked. I would talk to them, and then at one point, I would realize that, like, I'm catching feelings, I'm getting attached. I can clearly tell that they're trying to play me or they don't want anything serious, but I did want something serious back in the day, so I would catch myself thinking too much about it. I would catch myself overthinking. And I kind of realized that I was catching feelings, I was getting attached, so I had to remove myself from that situation, so I just ghost. And also keep in mind, big 2026, people have options. We see people as something super replaceable, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're on a dating app, for instance, and you have, like, hundreds of people liking you every day, and let's say you match with, like, 50 of them, if one person gave you the ick, or you just didn't, like a reply of some person, gone. You're gone because you have, like, 100 other people who liked you as well, and you might as well just talk to them. So obviously it's so much easier to just disappear than to talk it through. It's so much easier than to, like, invest in someone, to commit. And let me tell you, when somebody does that to you, I don't know if you're supposed to take it as, like, disrespect, because I do think it's super disrespectful to just disappear on somebody like that. Like, obviously, I would prefer somebody to tell me, like, yo, bro, I don't feel shit, bye. But it's a good way of leaving someone confused, overthinking, questioning if they did something wrong. So yeah, if you want to provoke some self-doubt, some anxiety, it's a good thing. It's a good tool to use. But let me tell you something, sometimes ghosting is so performative, and you can easily tell it is. Like, I can tell when you're ghosting me to get a reaction out of me. Because you know when this whole ghosting behavior is inconsistent, like one day you're all over me, you're obsessed, you're talking, you're calling and whatever. The next day you disappear, then you're talking again, or then like you ghost me for like 3 days and then you're obsessed with me again. Like I can clearly tell that you can't keep this dynamic. You can't ghost me. You just can't go that long without me then. What the heck? Because it looks emotional. It's not controlled. You're supposed to be in control over here. If you're ghosting, you're the one in control because you're the one taking something from that person. And then you're just giving it away. What was the whole point of it then? Also, if you ghost someone, if you don't reply to their messages, but you still view their stories, you like their posts, you like their stories, they can clearly see that you're still like interacting with their social media. Bro, what the heck is this? It's crazy. Because even if you still care, because you clearly still care if you're watching my shit, just, bro, keep the illusion going. I know you're pretending, but at least pretend well. That's a bunch of bullshit. I can tell it's performative and you just can't, like, you can't control yourself from seeing me. I like that. And also, bro, if you're ghosting and you're just, like, refreshing the page all the time trying to see if they're gonna reach out first, bro, it's a dead case. Yeah, I did that as well. So for what reason should you ghost someone? Me personally, I either do it when I'm bored as fuck, I'm not liking the conversation, like, I don't see a point in, like, trying to make conversation, trying to make small talk. I hate small talk. You're not gonna catch me doing that shit. If there just is no conversation flow, I'm gone. I don't need that. And I'm not gonna send you a paragraph saying, I'm so sorry, I don't think it's working out. Nah, I'm just gonna leave. But if people do something like, disrespectful to me, or if they're being super inconsistent, and also like what even is inconsistent, if they're doing push-pull, then pretty consistent. But I mostly just mirror what other people do. Like for instance, if I rock with you, for instance, if somebody doesn't reply to me for 7 hours, and I'm not talking to my friends because it's a different story, we don't do that to each other, but like if a guy I'm talking to doesn't reply to me for like a day, I'm not gonna reply to you for a day as well. Or I might double it and give it to the next person. No, I might double it and reply to you the next day. How you like that? Because then the thing is, like, if they ignore you, or I don't know how to properly call it, like if they don't reply to you for a day and then the second they reply you reply as well, that's where you fuck up. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that because they're clearly playing a game of like who takes longer to respond, because apparently it's so fun, so nonchalant. And if you're replying to them straight away after they've been ignoring you for like days on end, bro, it only shows that you're available 24/7. It shows them that if they repeat what they just did to you, they're still gonna get you. It's like when, let's say, if a person, like, let's say that you have a date for, like, you set the time, you agreed on a certain time. A person is late, like, super late, like, let's say an hour late, and you, for some stupid reason, you decided to stay, because that's what I did a couple times. Guilty. You confront them about it. The next date, that happens again, and you still stay, you stay again. You stay for the second time. It tells them that you have no boundaries whatsoever, and you're gonna wait for them as long as they want you to. Like, it's like no matter how late they are, no matter how rude they are to you, disrespectful, inconsistent, low commitment, whatever, you say it, you name it, you're still gonna stay and you're gonna put up with it. Like, it basically shows that you're okay with it, you're fine with it, you're gonna take whatever the fuck they pull, just to have them, just to keep them. Also, I feel like if you have no deep connection with a person, like, let's say, like, you went out with someone, you did something, I don't know, you hooked up with that person, and you just feel like there is nothing deep in it, like, if you want something deep, if you want a deep connection and you feel like it's not deep, but that person wants to like keep it casual or some shit, ghost. Or if you want to tell them, I don't want that shit, I'm not into that shit, and that's it. But it's easier to just ghost, to stop communicating. So that's like a pretty easy exit out of this kind of situation. And if you want to ghost someone, I feel like you have to choose between two types of ghosting. That's what I call them. It's either the slow ghost or the hard ghost. I'm pretty sure, like, I did not invent that shit. I might have heard it somewhere, but that's how, like, I differentiate them. So the slow ghost is like when you basically fade away. Please stop. So the slow ghost is basically when you kind of fade away, you give them less replies, you give them less energy, you're just kind of fading away. You're not like just like straight up, I don't know, like blocking them, deleting their number, unfollowing and all that shit. No, it's like you're just decreasing the level of your presence. And then the hard ghost, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Cut off, immediate cut off. Like, you don't bother to, make a very big time difference between your replies. You just straight away just stop talking. This is it. You're done. And I feel like, bro, like, if you don't want to come across as some poser noob in that shit in the game, if you decide to ghost, like what I just mentioned earlier, do not stalk their social media if they can clearly tell. Like, if you want, go on their profile, or who gives a fuck. But if they just posted a story and you view it after you've ghosted them, like, let's say you ghosted them a couple of days ago, like, you're done, you're trying to make it look like you're done, and then you view their stories, it still shows that you care. Why are you watching their stories? If you didn't care, you would probably, like, I don't know, unfollow, delete, do whatever the fuck you want, but definitely not keep stalking them, because this just does not make sense. If you don't care, you don't care fully, entirely. Also, if you ghost someone, don't explain yourself after. Like, you already gave them the silence. This is pretty much enough to understand what you were trying to say. Like, if you ghosted, you already made your statement. Why does it have to be explained? And even if they ask you, like, yo, why are you not replying? No. You keep it. You keep the act. You keep ghosting that person, bro. Because then it would be funny. Imagine you haven't been replying to, like, it's been like a week since that person sent you a message, and now, like, they're so slow that they send you something like a paragraph saying, like, oh, this made me so sad, whatever the fuck, and you're like, yeah, I was just ghosting you. You think that makes you look cool? Because that happened to me. You think that makes you look cool? You think that makes you look nonchalant? No, you just broke the whole illusion that you made. You were clearly pretending not to care because you decided to reply for some reason, bro. And, like, you know what, even if you did have feelings for that person, because sometimes I remove myself when I realize that I'm catching feelings, it's important to, like, not break your own boundary, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just text them out of nowhere and be like, oh, my bad, like, I missed you, how are you? Are you up? You up? Oh my god, hell no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're pretending, because I've ghosted a lot of people by pretending, because I did care, and I was stalking their social media, but just, like, in a way where they didn't know, and I was still kind of, like, keeping an eye on them in case, because I still had feelings for them or some shit. I still make sure to, like, you know, like, if I'm gone, I'm fully gone. And even if I'm faking it, because back then I was faking it, I'm gonna keep the act going. I'm not gonna let you know that I'm that weak, that I just can't keep myself from you. And also keep in mind, if you got ghosted, and then the person kind of, like, walks back into your life, I would think twice before taking them back, because if they did that once, they might do that again. And if you're, like, if it's easy for you to catch feelings and, you know, like, get hurt and all that, like, there's a high chance you're just gonna get ghosted again and, like, heartbroken again, if that breaks your heart. And just, like, don't wait around. Do not, like, if they ghosted you and, you know, this has happened before and you know that they're gonna come back, if that hurts you, get the fuck out of there. Maybe, like, not, like, get rid of that person. If you want, like, keep the person around. But what I'm saying is, stop giving them that attention and shift your focus to something else. Because the easiest way for me to move on from someone is to shift focus to someone else, like another individual. Because by all means, my life is pretty busy. Like, I study, I work, I have my shit going on, I got friends, I have shit to do. So honestly, like, I can't really shift my focus to, like, an activity, because by all means, I'm busy. But shifting it to another person works wonders. So yeah, if somebody disappeared on you, they're telling you everything you fucking need to know. And you don't gotta double text, you don't gotta check in out of nowhere, you don't gotta, like, if they ghosted you and, like, a couple days passed and you're like, oh, like, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? No, girl, don't do that. That's just, don't do that, bro. So yeah, just respect the silence and move on to the next one.